This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. We've been warning for some time that the European auto industry is on shaky grounds, and the latest numbers show that the situation is only getting worse. Porsche said global sales fell 6% in the second quarter. Mercedes-Benz was down 9%, while Jaguar Land Rover was down 15%. Stellantis, which is under enormous pressure from the Italian government to boost production in the country to 1 million cars a year, saw production plummet by 34% in the first half. It only made about 244,000 vehicles in Italy so far this year, meaning that million car target is just a pipe dream. And the company's market cap is now under $30 billion. The problem for European automakers is that sales in their home market are nearly 3 million units a year lower than they were pre-COVID. In China, European brands, like all foreign brands, are getting clobbered. And in the US, they're now getting hit with higher tariffs. The situation is gloomy, and it seems like there might be no end in sight. Porsche warns that the second half of the year is going to be a lot tougher. Its sales in China are down 28% this year and are down 58% from just 4 years ago. As Bloomberg points out, who needs a Porsche Macan when you can get a Xiaomi U7 with better specs, higher performance, newer technology, and at a lower price? While the U7 is clearly targeted at Tesla's Model Y, the U7 and SU7 sedan are eating into Porsche too. Meanwhile, new car sales in China just shot up 18% to an all-time record in June. Automakers sold 2.1 million new passenger vehicles. Car prices keep falling thanks to the price war, as well as government incentives for people trading in an old car to buy a new one. And exports shot up 28% to 480,000 vehicles. But now the question is, how sustainable will this be? The China Passenger Car Association says it expects car sales to start easing up.
Developing today's vehicles. Issues can happen in an instant. When's the best time to solve a problem? The minute you know you have one. Meet Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your secure, off-the-shelf solution empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
China is finally mandating ABS on all new vehicles. While anti-lock brakes have been required in Europe since 2003 and since 2013 in the US, China is implementing a new standard that will take effect for most new vehicles starting at the beginning of next year. And at the start of 2027, the standard also prevents EV makers from setting one-pedal driving as the default mode. One-pedal driving can bring the vehicle to a complete stop after the accelerator is released without hitting the brake pedal. But regulators say there's an increased possibility of pedal misapplication, and they worry that long-term use can lead to delayed reactions when it's necessary to hit the brakes. That's even happened to me, mistaking the accelerator for the brake while in one-pedal mode, so I don't like to use it. But we'd love to know your thoughts on the feature. Street and racing technology is making a comeback. Better known as SRT, a performance division that launched under the Dodge brand in 2004, will now be the performance engineering arm for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. It will be headed up by Ram CEO Tim Kuniskis, who was also given the newly created role of head of American brands and North America marketing and retail strategy. Essentially, he's head of all sales and marketing. And speaking of sales and marketing, Ford is transitioning its employee pricing for all campaign to what it's calling the 000 Summer Sales Event. That stands for 0 down payments, 0% interest for 48 months, and 0 payments for the first 90 days. The deal applies to most Ford and Lincoln vehicles in the U.S. and will last until the end of September. The company is also extending its power promise for the same amount of time, which offers a free home charger and standard installation to EV buyers. Ford sales were up just over 14% in the second quarter, so we'll be interested to see if this 000 campaign helps it maintain that momentum. Because does anyone remember when Mitsubishi did this about 20 years ago? Sales shot up instantly. But when Mitsu lowered its lending standards so that almost any buyer qualified, the whole system collapsed because customers started defaulting on payments and residual values went down the drain. A Tesla owner who was upset that the company didn't deliver on its promise for unsupervised self-driving was able to get reimbursed for the feature. Tesla has been selling its FSD package for a decade now, but the technology still isn't capable of providing unsupervised self-driving. And the company has admitted that models with Hardware 3 that were promised to eventually reach full self-driving will need a hardware update. As part of Tesla's sales contract, customers in the U.S. must go through arbitration to seek refunds. So that's what one owner in Washington did. He paid $10,000 for FSD in his 2021 Model Y, but even when Tesla unlocked supervised FSD, says he wasn't able to enable it because Tesla restricted access through a safety score, which the owner claims wasn't mentioned in the contract. Doesn't appear Tesla took the arbitration process seriously because they sent a service technician as a witness who wasn't prepared to answer the questions. So, the arbitrator sided with the customer and said FSD was not, quote, functional, operational, or otherwise available. Tesla was forced to reimburse the $10,000 plus taxes, and it also had to pay $8,000 in arbitration fees. Renault is partnering with German motorhome brand Ahorn Camp to offer motorhome and camper versions of its master van. There are 9 versions of the motorhome and 2 camper van models. They're powered by diesel engines mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission that range from 128 to 167 horsepower. The campers start at just under 53,000 euros, or about 62,000 bucks, while the motorhomes start at around 59,000 euros, or just under $69,000. The new vans go on sale later this year in Europe. And be sure to join us this Thursday for Autoline After Hours, when we'll have Sandy Monroe coming on the show. Sandy is super cranked up about the failure of the U.S. to generate a new generation of skilled tradespeople, and he's ready to let loose on that. You won't want to miss it. But that's a wrap for today. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Intrepid Control Systems. Over-the-air engineering boost your game. And by
Hey there! Enjoy what you're watching? Then consider becoming an Autoline member. Just click the Join button on the Autoline Network YouTube homepage, or we've also set up a Patreon account under Autoline. Now, absolutely nothing will change with the content that we already provide you, but we're giving exclusive access to even more, like early viewing of Autoline exclusives, behind-the-scenes videos, and even live Q&As with John and I.